Welcome to Dog Hugs, Robbie. It is so great to see you.
Hello.
Yes. Come here, Spider. You know, it's National Dog Week this week. So Spider is going to get busy with National Dog Week treat. Get up on here. Take the seat of honor there, Spider, and you're going to do the show today. Hello. That was a pretty weak wave. See you later, buddy.
He's the new show MC.
He's doing a great job. So all week we're celebrating National Dog Week. Let's get started.
Such a great video.
Well, we thank Pet Orphan so much again for allowing us to make those videos over there. Yeah. And Robbie, thank you so much for doing such a great job on our pet calendar. It is such a great place to find all kinds of pet holidays.
And I think it's a great way for people to they're looking for something new and interesting to do. Then they can go, oh, I'm going to celebrate National Dog Week. Although, does really anybody who has a dog not celebrate every day?
True that. Yeah. So another way that we celebrate dogs here with Dog Hugs and Positively Woof is through the Supermodel of the Week contest. And this week is no exception. We've got some fantastic finalists, and here they are. So all you have to do is post your dog's photos right up there on the Positively Woof Facebook page, and you could be in there. Look at these dogs. Chester! And let's see who our big player today is, who's going to be on our banner all week long. Here we go. Athena! Beautiful. Congratulations, Athena, and all the rest of the finalists and everybody who entered that contest.
And we do the Dogs of the Day every day, so we encourage people every day to post your dog on our page. Make sure you tell us his or her name, and you can enter every day of the week.
Yes.
Different dogs. I mean, the very first dog you showed there, it was like a family of dogs. Show your family of dogs.
Yes. Now, to celebrate National Dog Week, we have a special giveaway. We're giving away the book, Other People's Pets. And maybe you've seen the show where we had the author of the book, R.L. Mazes, on Dog Hugs. It's a wonderful book, and we really encourage you to enter the contest. It's simple. All you have to do is go to the link that Robbie is posting right there in the chat. And
even as you speak.
Even as we speak. And, enjoy that. Yeah. We're giving away, 2 books on Friday, Robbie?
2 books on Friday. And so we're going to do this drawing. So if you go to this link, fill out the Rafflecopter form. We're doing a random drawing. And then during the show, we're going to be asking a difficult question. What is Larry's dog's name? And for anybody who says Spider, Larry's dog's name, Then we're going to do a live drawing that day. We're going to give random numbers, and Spider himself is going to be drawing the winner. So live on camera. So
Nice.
all you have to do is know Larry's dog's name.
Not hard. Not hard. Yeah. All right. So be sure to join us on Friday for that show. And we're going to have R.L. Mays, the author of Other People's Pets, with us on Friday.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
So some of my dearest friends are in Australia, the flipping disc dogs. Bo Pearson and Sim Hellebrand, they travel generally all over the continent of Australia and perform amazing stunts and tricks. They've been on Australia's Got Talent. Legend has it that there are other Got Talent shows that are very interested in them once this pandemic lifts. They are developing some new tricks. They are just wonderful performers and teachers as well. So here's an interview that they were kind enough to do with us earlier this week. And because right now in Melbourne, Australia, it is about, I think, 5 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning right now.
I thought it was 12 hours, but yeah, it is. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. And it's tomorrow for them.
I was going to say it's tomorrow.
Yesterday. Yeah, we're yesterday. We're so yesterday. At the end of this interview, we're also going to do an after show. We've never tried this before. But we're going to end the show, and then we're going to come back because Bo Hillebrand is going to read Spider's story. I was asked by CUDDLY in their campaign, my Unspoken Pet campaign, to tell Spider's fictional story before I met him. I don't know what it is, but I made it up. And since Spider is an Australian cattle dog, had to have a good Australian read it. So Bo is going to read that for us. But first, meet Bo and Sim from Australia. Here we go.
I'll follow you into it.
This is Harry Potter. Spider's growling. He wants in.
It's a high leap.
Yeah, he's quite a leaper, that Harry Potter. Oh, well. Got to go to a smaller hoop. There you go,
Oh my
Harry.
gosh.
Ah, no treat left behind. Bravo.
Oh, wow.
Ah, 2 hoops.
There we go.
So this is Sim Hellebrand, and they are in lockdown and getting more opportunities to train than ever before. So now we're going to get to meet Sim.
Now,
And
Harry's he's not one of our main frisbee dogs, but we like to do frisbee with him. He enjoys it. as you'll be able to tell the minute he starts chasing him down and making some noise.
Oh, he's not one of their main frisbee dogs. That was just a light toss. Yeah. There, ooh, nice rebound
Good
there.
job, buddy. Good job, mate.
Good boy.
All right, we'll bring him over for a bit of a chat.
Very good. Yeah, so tell us about Harry. I think you said that he's not one of your main frisbee dogs, but that he's kind of in training right now.
Yeah, so we got a message from one of our friends saying that they had a super small, active, very energized, over-the-top dog full of himself rescue that is looking for a home. And they said, why don't you come and have a look, because I think he'd be perfect for you. And he was very much that. He's full of himself, a lot of dog in such a small body. And when we first got him, like 12 months, it was a challenge just to try and channel that energy, trying to get him to calm down, want to work with us in a way that, you know, it's suitable for shows, getting him to be calm around children. So it's been a big 12 months for him to learn some of those rules and routines. And the last 6 weeks or so, he's just blossomed, really. He's switched on. He's willing to listen and work and shape. He's vaulting off the body like he hadn't really done much of that. He liked it, but he was very, very over the top with it. And now he's listening, he's working, he's having fun, and he's showing what a rescue dog can do.
It's really interesting, you know, to hear you say, Sim, that suddenly, you know, in the last 6 weeks he has blossomed. You know, you put in the work, you put in the work, you put in the work, and then suddenly it's like a switch has flipped.
Yep, and a change of attitude as well. So not only a change of attitude for Harry, it was a change of attitude for myself. I had to embrace his crazy flaws and work with what he was going to give us. And once I did that, then we untapped what we've got now, which is great.
That is really interesting. So you had to make a shift.
Yep, very, very different from all our other dogs. So it's been a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
I'll chat a little bit about Harry still. He's super energetic, and I think that's one thing that we sometimes don't remember with dogs is we have to match their energy. And if we don't match their energy, it can get a little bit confusing sometimes for the dog or ourselves.
Right.
So that's one good thing to remember during training is whenever working with a dog, if you are getting frustrated, know that it's probably going to reflect on the dog as well. They're probably going to get a little bit frustrated. So
as I understand it, not only do they pick up on the learning but they are also so sensitive to our emotions, our hormones, our pheromones.
I think Harry's probably the most sensitive dog.
Yeah, exactly. And this, we've got another boy that's going to come out. He is our oldest dog at the moment. As you know, Larry, we lost Millie Milkshake just last year.
I do. I'm seeing her on your shirt there.
Yeah. This is one of the shirts that I had made up for her. With on the back, it's got "Never Give Up." So we
Turn around a sec and show the folks. Yeah, that's the motto.
But yeah, we're getting some new shirts made up with that "Never Give Up" hashtag on it as well. So, but today we have a very special boy. He is our oldest boy.
Oh boy.
His name is Roaring Rain. And Rena, jump up. Oh, big.
How many pounds is that? You lifted him pretty well.
He's 17 kilos, which I think is about 35, 40 pounds.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I can't translate kilos to pounds either.
Yeah. But he's one of our original Frisbee dogs. Was doing agility and fly ball with him when I met him. And he's one of the original flipping disc dogs.
All right.
So I'm going to have a little bit of Frisbee fun with him. And we'll see if the old boy can still catch a few.
How old is he now?
He's 10. So just turned, 10 in March. So, he's crossed that milestone for me. I've actually, I've had bad luck. I haven't been able to get a dog past the age of 5, and Rain's made it to 10. So it's a good milestone.
True that.
He had a couple of injuries in fly ball, which made it a little bit hard for him to compete. He actually cracked his wrist on the fly ball box.
Oh gosh.
He hit it that hard, and I happened to have the GoPro set up, and you could just see the impact as he hit it. So
he shifted the box that far, like even with the box nailed down, he still shifted it. So
and the box is designed to take impact, where the dog pounced under the box to launch the ball.
It did not absorb any impact whatsoever for this particular run. And what was it? It was the Nationals. And
the thing with Rain is, when we were talking earlier about energy, if I get excited, he gets excited. And if I push him harder, he goes harder. If he goes harder, it tends to push me harder, which pushes him harder again, and it's just a never-ending battle.
Round and round we go.
Exactly. So, doing Frisbee with him was a little bit tricky because he's just so manic. He wanted to keep going, and he's doing pretty good in his later life. So we might have some fun and then bring him back for a bit of a chat.
Well, he sure looks sweet right now. Hey, Rain.
See?
All right. So, as you know, Larry, sometimes in Frisbee we do wear these special vests.
Yeah.
And that is just to, one, keep us safe from the dogs' claws, and also for the dogs to get a little bit more grip off our body so they're not slipping off our body when they're doing body tricks.
Do a little bit of vaulting or bouncing.
We're gonna attempt it. As I said, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the first thing, of course, as you know, is we always want to be safe.
Exactly. All right.
All right, I'm in charge of the camera now, Larry, so wish me luck.
Luck.
I will try and follow him my best.
Well, you're doing one part, Sim. Yeah.
Oh, my buddy. There we go. Right on, get it. Good boy.
Go Ray. Yeah.
Hero discs have always held up to his tugging. They're super strong. And as you can tell, he loves them.
Oh, yeah. Wow. He just really awakened as soon as he saw it was go time. It seemed like he just was embodied with a new personality.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty special dog for us. Just his whole attitude towards work. I mean, it's the perfect attitude you want in a dog for what we do. And really, he just doesn't give up. He can do a trick. If he fails, he'd be like, come on, let's do it again, and it's awesome.
He wants to get back up on the horse even quicker than you want him to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's usually being it.
So when I got Rain, I had just lost my dog Reba. She was unfortunately poisoned at an agility trial, and
Oh, no.
a friend of mine, also a fellow trainer and breeder, she had the most beautiful blue and white border collie, and I just wanted her, and very grateful that she had a litter of pups, and I got to choose Rain.
Yay.
And he's just been everything since I lost Reba. Like, Rain has been there, and then he's been there when Ivy died, and then Mason died, and Millie Milkshake. He's been through it all, and you know, the emotions that Rain went through when we lost our other dogs, you could tell that they do grieve, and you know, we want them to be there for us, but we had to be there for him as well. So he's very much a rock in our team, this one.
Yeah, he's a bit of a poster boy too. We had the national newspaper come and do a photo shoot for Australia Day, and on the side of our van we have that photo, him leaping in front of the city of Melbourne landscape with Australian cape on. So yeah, he's a pretty cool photo. Yeah, and we started doing the trick that Chris Brondi does, the jump over the crowd. And Rain was our first dog to try that with, and it was super cool. He loved it. It was his when that music come on for his part, he was just like going crazy.
So I think you're going to validate something for me here. I believe that when the theme music for the Dog Hugs show comes on, Spider knows. And boom, and he goes into position. Same thing with Rain when he hears the music for the leap.
Oh yeah, we so in a lot of our shows I set up a PA system, and for that PA system the music has to go off Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And then I have to turn the speaker down when I connect the Bluetooth, because that little do-do-do is enough for the dogs to know it is showtime.
Yeah.
They know their own songs, but also they know the routine. So at the start of the year when I joined the circus, Sim was still recovering from her leg, so I had to go on my own, and there was 3 songs before us, and the dogs could pick up on those songs when it's nearly time to play.
Oh,
so
my.
They are super smart, and routine-wise, they know. They know.
Yeah. So you've been on America's Got Talent. Now, you know, you were going to be traveling a lot this year, and of course are in lockdown. What's next?
So I'll just quickly, we're on Australia's Got Talent. I wish it was America's Got Talent.
Oh, I misspoke.
Totally fine. One day, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment we're still in lockdown. Regional Victoria, the state we're in, has just been released. The restrictions have been released a little bit.
We're still in lockdown away from the rest of Australia, so we can't cross any of our borders to get out. So we can't go to Queensland to join the circus or anything. So we can go to the shops and things like that. And we were lucky enough to have my nephews come over, but apart from that, we can't go anywhere. So it's very tricky, but yeah, we're doing lots of training.
Yeah, lots of training, lots of prep. There's a new vehicle in the plans.
Yeah, I want to buy a bus.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, so I was actually kind of grateful for the lockdown. So I normally make dog bandanas and things like that, and I shifted to making face masks. And because it's mandatory in Victoria now, so I was lucky enough to do that and keep me busy and then set the goal for a bus.
Fantastic. You're making enough face masks to set a goal to buy a bus.
Yep.
Wow. That's fantastic.
I think you just sort of brushed on a very important topic there, Larry.
Yeah, tell me.
No matter what we go through, there's always a way to adapt and change to the situation. And even though we might be finding it really hard, if we can adapt and find a solution for a current problem, then you can always make it through.
That is a never give up.
Exactly. And I think if everyone uses that mentality, then when we do have pandemics like this, or no matter what the situation is, even if it's not that bad, if it is something like bullying or something like that, we can always make it through. We just got to find a way that works in the situation.
Amen. Can you say anything about the tricks that you're working on? I know that you're working on some really special, never seen before tricks.
We're working on a couple. One is with Harry, or one I want to start working with Harry. So Harry not only does he like little hoops and jump into your arms, he also likes to jump pretty big. He can climb a 3-meter wall.
Wow.
And sit on top of my van.
Yeah.
And then he launches himself off the van into my arms. We want to make that trick a little bit different. So we're going to try and do something that I've never seen done before with that trick. And we have a couple other tricks up our sleeves that are a bit more magician-ish. A bit more of an illusion.
Sounds exciting.
But other than that, and we have a little dog, Phoenix, who hasn't really been shown in shows too much yet. But when probably in about another 6 months' time, he should be a really cool-looking dog like Rain. And you might see him and Rain team up for a few tricks.
That sounds like fun.
For young and old.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I've been working on a lot more of the skateboard and scooter. I've got an idea I want with the tunnel and a skateboard. I've just got to try and pair them both together, and I really want to get the tightrope a bit longer. So at the moment, what are we doing?
3.2 meters on the tightrope.
I want to see if I can try and get about 6 meter tightrope. It's just a little bit short on, you know, when you look at the dog's stride. So I want to try and get that a little bit longer, and possibly just work on the cat as well. So get Levi, you know, a little bit more into working and being around us. He's here somewhere. He came out before, so.
Yeah.
Well, you had that wonderful video of the cat leading the tightrope with the dogs following.
He loves that. That's the one thing, like when I open the shed and get ready for training, he comes in and he walks his tightrope, gets a treat, and goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lead those dogs.
That's it. And just so people know, that's 6 meters long, not high. So the one thing with our tightrope, we've seen a lot of people do it. We've seen a lot of people do it high.
Yeah.
We like to be beside them still.
Yeah.
Because we don't want them to slip, and if they slip, we can easily catch them.
Well, by me, it's an amazing feat. Is the distance. I, as the spectator, frankly, don't need the height because I'm more thinking about the danger. Right, you know, with it low like that, I can focus on the spectacle without worrying.
Exactly, exactly, and the length does change dramatically how hard the trick is. Because it gets a little bit more flexible in the middle the longer you make it.
Probably.
So it takes a lot of proprioception for the dog to get it. And so we do a lot of exercises that don't involve the tightrope to get that trick. A lot of paw targeting. And
we also do swap dogs too. So we were doing it with Daisy, our red and white girl in the Australia's Got Talent semi-final. So we did it with Daisy. We just found that her body type wasn't quite right for the trick. And one of our other girls, Bridie, who was on the show last time, she's really agile and she can place her feet on anything. So, and she picked it up really, really quickly. So yeah, she's going to do the one to get the 6 meters hopefully.
Well, what I just learned from you is that you use paw targeting as a building block. So each of the two paws has a target.
Yeah. So
really interesting.
I use little pods, so teaching the dogs to know exactly which paw is which that I'm either using a target stick to point to or verbally them to lift up. So I want them to be able to lift their back feet onto a back target, but also at the same time keep their back feet there, but then lift their front onto another target. So it's a lot of proprioception work, and you know we start that at 8 weeks with our dogs, but depending on the tricks, depending on the dog, is how far we take things with them. So it's
Oh wow, that's amazing. I just learned a lot from you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to showing that in a future episode.
Yeah,
we can definitely help with that.
On this show, we love giving shelter shout outs. And I know that you have so many favorite rescue organizations, animal welfare organizations. Is there one or two that you want to give a special shout out to today?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to a lady called Joanna, and she does Sunny Days Rescue just in Lara, so not too far from here, about 40 minutes. And Joe helped us when we found a kitten and we couldn't look after it. We found it on the streets and we brought it back with us, and she helped find that little kitten a home. So she does amazing work with lots of dumped animals. So she'll get a phone call and someone will say, look, I've just seen an animal being dumped here, can you go get it? And most likely it's turned out the owners have just dumped it. But she is absolutely amazing with what she does with all the feral cats, turning them from feral to friendly. She does the dogs and horses as well. So Jo at Sunny Days in Lara, shout out to her. She's great, friendly people and lots of lovely animals. So
beautiful. And as you may recall, this show is all about blessings and gratitude. Is there somebody in your life or in the world who you'd love to give a shout out to, a blessing, some gratitude, a gift?
It might sound a bit funny. It's coming for me. It comes from one of our sponsors, Denise from Hero Gifts. She always looks after us. Always. I just have to mention, oh, that looks cool, and all of a sudden it rocks up in the mail without me asking. So Denise from Hero Gives USA is super awesome, but also I just want to give a shout out, especially while this boy is in my hand. Ron Watson, phenomenal player and teacher. In my respect, I think he's probably one of the best teachers in the world for frisbee. He does a lot of online classes, and Ron, and without him, what Reno and I have been able to do, and I believe what Sim and the other dogs, and we just couldn't do it. We just would not have the knowledge to do what we do. So a huge thanks to Ron.
And I'll give my gratitude goes to Bill at Likewise Pet Foods and Tanya at Foresight Interpath. Without having sponsors on board, we wouldn't be able to even be training the dogs the way that we are. So Likewise is so generous with their food donations and giving discounts to all of our followers.
But especially at the moment with the pandemic going on.
They're still willing to, give us food. And at Foresight, their generosity to supply joint formula for all the dogs. Every 60 days we get a new lot, and to have that peace of mind that the dogs are getting their daily joint formula is, for us, our gratitude straight for Bill and Tanya, Likewise and Foresight.
Beautiful.
I think also just on that note, it's if anyone, just keep an eye on the people around you while all this stuff is going on. And if there isn't anyone that you see struggling a little bit, just give them a shout out or give them a bit of a hand. Because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes with different people. And for us personally, we haven't worked since Feb with shows. So, I don't like to think about it, but I don't know if we could have lasted this long with none of our sponsors. Because it has been a tough year, as it has for everyone. And
for them too.
So we just need to keep an eye for everyone. And if we know someone's struggling, give them a shout out.
Yep.
Ask them if they need a hand.
Amen. Now I'm remembering how important all of that is to you, Bo.
Yeah.
Well, it is so great seeing you again here on Dog Hugs, and we thank you for joining us.
That's all right, Larry. It's always fun to chat to you, mate.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, Sim and Bo from Flipping Disc Dogs, for joining us on that great conversation. And if you like, folks, stick around, because after the show, we're trying an after-show experiment where Sim is going to read Spider's story. So we imagine what our dogs' lives were like before they came to be with us. And this is a wonderful campaign put on by the good folks at CUDDLY. The campaign is called My Unspoken Pet. Robbie, shelter shadow.
Spider's barking, Murray's barking.
Today I'm going with Pet Orphans today for again that opportunity to film the National Dog Week film at Pet Orphans. And we so look forward to getting over there live again and making some more films and training other trick dogs. Spider, I met him on one of my sets at Pet Orphans. So without Pet Orphans, this guy wouldn't be here. Shelter shout out for you, Robbie.
I'm going to go with the local shelter here. It's called Pause
Your zip code.
14411. I was just looking for that. So they're just a local shelter, probably 2 miles from my house. They do great work. I love the photos that they share of the dogs when they come in, because, it's not they're always like having them outside or being on a park bench. So it just makes them really seem like the dogs are
Yeah.
so happy. And they're just adopting out a lot of dogs. And I love seeing the adoption photos.
Yes, beautifully said. We had, thank you, Steve, for chiming in here. A bark here and a bark there. Thank you, Steve. We can't wait to have you back on the show again. Yes. And I know you're talking about Sim and Bo in Australia as well with that. Yes. Folks, celebrate all week National Dog Week. Come on, butt down here, little buddy. All week. And make sure to take advantage of that giveaway to get the book, Other People's Pets, a wonderful new book by R.L. Mazes. Gratitude, blessings, gifts. Anybody come
I'm grateful for
on
my
National
dogs.
Dog Week? That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, come on. You know, I am nothing if not predictable.
That's great. Hey, who's on your show tomorrow? You know, every Wednesday, Robbie has the
I am having
cat show from. Come on, Spider, give us a rest, buddy. Thank you. From the Cat Box. Who's your guest tomorrow?
I am having Jane Kelly tomorrow. She is the webmaster and chief cat slave over at Paws and
That
Effects.
sounds like a fun show.
I need to know what you have to do to become the chief cat slave. I mean, because right around, around here, I'm really the bottom of the barrel when it comes to
Not
cat
even
slaves.
cat slave. Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, listen, folks, we promised you a special end to the show. This is a wonderful 8-minute story of Bo Pearson reading Spider's story. So again, the idea was, imagine what your pet's life was like before coming to you. Spider, I need you to be quiet for 1 minute while we talk to Uncle Bo. Okay. So imagine what your dog's story was like. Now, this particular version was read by Bo Pearson, and I decided that it needed to be that way since Spider is an Australian cattle dog. So enjoy the story, and we'll see you again tomorrow for From the Cat Box. We'll see you back here on Thursday and Friday for Dog Hugs. Thank you so much for joining us today, and special thanks to Bo and Sim from Flipping Disc Dogs.
Bye.
And away we go.
It's true blue beauty that my 4 sisters and brothers named me the Run. Fighting the bigger ones made me tougher and quicker. We were born on a ranch in a place called California, far away from Australia. My bigger mates learned to herd sheep and cows, but the Runt never got a fair go. Except once when I leapt out of the puppy pen. That's when I learned I could jump higher than any of them. And then, yeah, I rounded those sheep up, barked fiercely, circled round, nipped their heels. Yeah, I was aces annoying. But nipping at those big sheep was aces fun. Until I got kicked in the head. Crikey, that rang a bell. Left a fair dent in my head. It's not so noticeable now that I'm all grown up, especially since my black eye patch diverts the attention. Dogs notice the dent though, and sometimes it scares them off when I angle at them like a drongo dingo. Getting kicked in the throat. Getting kicked in the throat made my bark rougher. I'm never going to howl like my pretty dingo ancestors. But that's okay. It's made my bark sharper, my growl fierce, so no one's going to mess with me. No one, not even that mongrel who thinks he's the biggest and baddest. I scared them all off. Maybe that's why it took me so long to get a real home. Yeah, I bounced around for a couple of years. The first one brought me home, didn't last. They weren't ready for me. No sheep to herd, so I rounded up their kids. It should have thrilled them, because those little ankle biters needed their own ankles nipped. And that dog run, where they kept me outside, Struth, what a small, stuffed life. Getting a quick g'day when they restocked my bowl, my only break from no hope was barking at everyone and anything that moved. After too many moon cycles, watching my dingo moon god Ginger grow and disappear, I wasn't a cute puppy. I tried howling, but the humans hated my kicked in throat singing. They hated me. That's when I figured it was time to bounce. It took a few days to get good at it, but eventually I jumped and climbed over that fence. And I was small enough to squeeze through a hole. It's good being the run. Freedom was fun. I went walkabout, followed my nose to an alley, jumped and climbed, squeezed through a crack in a dumpster lid. Yeah, mate, it's good being the run. The whole dumpster was mine. Feast. Just had to scare some cats off. Was tempted to go after them, but I had such a bellyache. Fell asleep instead. Dream time. Dreams of my dingo ancestors, dreams of my sacred symbols, swirled dreams of herding a mob of sheep. Suddenly, the dumpster rumbles. I'm awake. I scrambled up and poked my head out. My dumpster loads up to the big truck. Looks like I'm going for a ride. I take in the breeze, scan the world below. Maybe this is what it's like being a bird. Like Yalunga, the eagle god of my dingo ancestors. Yalunga created his world. I'd like to create my world. A home, yes, with a full belly of tucker and a soft place to sleep. A home, what do those humans call it? Ah, yes, love. What would it be like to have love? A home. The big truck drove my dumpster to the garbage heaven. I reckon acres of ripe garbage. But I learned that not all garbage can be eaten. I must be a slow learner because I got sick every day. Even worse, when you're sick, you're weak, which means you're also prey to dogs that prowl the dump. If I were well, I could have fought them off, but it was easier to leg it and climb up to a safe hiding spot that gave me a good lookout. In the moons that followed, I silently begged God Ginger to help. I dare not bark because I had to stay hidden while I got well. The Ginger must have heard my cry. It was lonely, but I got used to my garbage dump lookout. I learned to take risks and eventually got discovered by those guard dogs. When they bought the humans, I ran away at first. The truth, I was ready to be captured. They loaded me into a crate on a truck, slammed the door, and drove off. The other dogs and crates in the truck smelled of fear. The fear was contagious. When I get scared, I'll fight. So by the time we arrived at the giant warehouse, I was in a mood to fight. The fight didn't go well. Those humans gave me a shot. I got woozy, fell asleep, and woke up on a shelf in a crate surrounded by barking in every direction. Not fun. But at least at night I could bark to Ginger, even though I couldn't see the moon. Even though the kind hands fed me, this was no life. I got angrier, barked more. It took many moons to figure out that barking wouldn't help get me out. The dogs who got out were friendly when the humans came in. I didn't really know how to be friendly. I got adopted a couple of times, but each time I messed something up. I didn't mean to, but figuring out all these new rules was stressful and confusing. I ripped up food bags, pooped on the rug, chased a cat, wound up in the warehouse again and again. The third time I got put on the list, they called it the euthanasia list. I had no idea what that meant, only that all the other dogs on that list didn't come back. When I got to the top of the euthanasia list, I got picked. Some folks put me in a van and I wound up at another warehouse. I called it a shelter, named Pet Orphans. Still couldn't see the moon. Humans took me on walks, sat with me, played with me in the yard. I didn't know how to play at first. They named me Spider. One day they brought me in front of a bunch of people who wanted me to sit still while they shined lights at me and stared at me through little machines they called a camera. I didn't like it when they touched me, especially when they put some kind of fandangle ribbon on me. They said it was cute, but I tolerated it. The people did the same lights and camera thing with a bunch of other dogs. The other dogs made the people happy because they smiled and waved and learned some tricks. I wasn't having any of that nonsense, especially when they touched me. But all the other dogs got adopted right away. They got homes. I didn't. That just made me angrier. I was depressed. A whole moon cycle later, that human with a camera started walking me. We walked far, which I was stoked about. He let me climb and jump, said my name's Spider, nice things, and gave me snacks. I felt happy. We did that every day for a week. Then something unexpected happened. He brought me home. That was 5 years ago. He's now my dad. And you know what? We love each other. Yeah, love. And I'm a good boy when I'm not a rat bag.
Thank you again for joining us on this special edition of Dog Hugs. And we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye, Ravi.
Bye, everybody.